Hi, everybody. This is really loud.
Really loud, yeah. Can you do it?
Hold away.
Test. Okay. Well, thanks for coming to Mike's retirement party. All of you have had Mike been a really important part of your life for many, many years. Mine for nearly a third of my life, which is, I still remember when I first took over this place. For anybody who doesn't know me, I'm Jeff, and unfortunately this is my crutch here, the alley. So I've had Mike with me for the last 13 years that I've had the place, and I still remember the day when I walked in and Mike had this look on his face that, oh shit, who's this kid? And what's he gonna do to my bar? And I think 13 years later, he's still thinking the same thing. But it's been a really good run, and he's taught me so much about how to be part of this business and how to not let it get to you. And definitely big part of why I'm still here and why I've been able to be successful at doing this. So I owe a lot to him, and he's been like a father figure to me, and will continue to be that. Not behind the bar, probably at the racetrack now. So without further ado, I'm going to give it off to Mike so he can say a few words as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Andrea, Jeff, for doing this party for me. I really appreciate it. And I think I'll start from the beginning. I was born in 1943, February 6th. Okay, I'm going to skip right to when I was 14 years old. I walked into the Village Inn on Babel Island. I had a work permit. This is what you had to have at the time. And I walked in, I'm looking for a job, and walked back to the kitchen. The chef pointed at me and he says, "See those pots and pans back there, kid?" I go, "Yeah." He said, "Well, you go back there and you start washing." And I go, so I worked for the Village Inn for a couple of years when I was 14 years old, 15 years old. And I got one of my paychecks, I couldn't even believe it. I got $1 an hour. I got $100 paycheck. I hadn't seen $100 in like a million years. I didn't know there was that much money. Well, my mom lived at home. She goes, "I'll take care of that. 25% goes to mom." And so I paid rent all the way through high school. So after I left the Village Inn, I went down to, I got a couple jobs. I went to the Sportsman Restaurant, which I'm going to have a history for you people here that you probably don't know this. It's the Outback right now. And I worked there, I'm like 16 years old, and I'm bussing tables and working in the kitchen. And I had one of the things I want to know, I always worked for great owners, and I worked for a guy that nobody knows. His name was Clark Aiken. Clark was a playboy. He had racehorses. He had went on African safaris. And you gotta remember, I'm like 16, 17 years old. And you know what? He was one of those kind of owners that when you got a paycheck, you went to his office. You got paid every week, you signed it. You know, Clark always told me, he says, "Just remember one thing, Mike. Always remember the guy that signs your check. He's an important guy." I says, "Okay." So I worked down there for a while, and I just remember, this is kind of an old story, but I remember I had I thought it was a hot date, you know. Remember, I was 16, and we had a truck that we used to use for, you know, running errands and stuff for the restaurant. And I go, "Hey, Clark, can I borrow the truck tonight? We're going to the Apollo Drive-In Theater." Which, does anybody here know where the Apollo Drive-In Theater was? Okay, so, and I says, "I got this guy, you know, and I want to, can I borrow the truck?" You gotta believe this. Clark handed me the keys to his brand new Cadillac. He says, "Mike, go ahead. You can take this." I go, "Really?" And I've driven a couple times before because Clark had a tendency to drink a little bit. And so, but this guy was a great owner. And so anyway, I picked this girl up with this brand new Cadillac, and I never was so happy. We went to the Apollo Drive-In. You know, nobody ever watched movies there. I couldn't tell you. So anyway, after that, you know, we went to, so then I went to work for the city. I worked for the city for 3 or 4 or 5 years, actually. I worked for the recreation department, which was really a lot of fun. And so then I started working for Rubens Newport. And I knew all the owners very well, and it was kind of a fun deal. And believe it or not, which was 56 years ago, I said, I want to go behind the bar. So I was a bar boy then. Now, bar boy, it was a bar boy. There was no servers. There's no such thing as a server. You were a waitress or you were a waiter. And so I get back there as a bar boy. And at the time, you're not going to believe this, but the bartender taught me how to say it. It was called Jigger Jack. And Jigger Jack was, there's nobody in this room now would remember who this man was, because he was a famous old bartender in Newport Beach. And my cocktail waitress was Patsy Maluso, who opened up this restaurant right here. And so Patsy was one of my dearest friends, and I'm a bar boy. I'm back there, and I'm trying to learn how to, and Jack's showing me how to make some drinks and stuff. And so Patsy taught me how to make all the drinks. She goes, hey, you got a Manhattan, you got a Warrior, you got all these drinks. You have to make, we need daiquiris, Bacardi cocktails, we need all this kind of stuff. And Patsy would tell me how to make it. So one night I'm working with Jigger Jack, and he's a great old guy, you know, and so we go down there, and Jack, so I'm working, and Patsy comes up with an order. I swear there's like 10 drinks on that order. So I go to Jack, I go down and say, Jack, you better come down here. I says, to make these drinks. I says, there's like at least 10 drinks on that order. Oh, Jigger Jack looked at me and he said, hey, Mike, go down and make them one at a time. And the funny thing about, I tell you those stories because I remember Jack, you know. Jack always had a coffee cup. He's always drinking coffee. And you know, like, the funny thing about it is Jack didn't drink coffee. And we used to, and Jigger Jack was back there, he had his bourbon and that, and everybody knew that. And Jim Gray, one of our owners, you know, Jack looks at him with the straightest face in the world. He goes, Jim, he says, this coffee tastes funny. And we go, so Jim goes, it tastes funny. So Jim goes running back. We all knew it wasn't coffee in there, you know, so we all kind of laughed, got a kick out of it. So then then after we left there, we opened up the Reuben E. Lee, which was a great restaurant, the busiest restaurant in Newport Beach. I don't care how much booze you sell, you people in the restaurant business, to sell 100 and 200 bottles of liquor a night, Lee Fromels, all these kind of wines that you do it. And the thing I always remember about it, I worked in the service bar for a while, and I was always going to Orange Coast College at the time. And I used to work the service bar and put my notes up on top of the deal while I'm working, you know, because, you know, I'm 21 years old, 22, and I'm just trying to, you know, do this thing. And not to drop some name as a movie star or anything, but anyway, Robert Mitchum. Anybody remember Robert Mitchum around here? But he used to come in late on Sunday nights that I worked. And you know what? This was a time when everything was different in the restaurant business. Number one, nobody ate at a bar. He goes, who's there? He goes, Emerson. Maren goes, Emerson who? Yeah, Emerson, big tits. And that was Dickie Merrill. He was really a good guy. I mean, he really was. And so then, of course, there was a time that Carmen Electra come in, and I got all the other bartenders working here. I'm the only bartender that knew who Carmen Electra was. So she comes in, and I asked her for ID, and she goes, I'm Carmen Electra. And I go, yeah, I gotta see your ID. And all these other guys, John and Mark, and all these guys are looking at me like, that's Carmen Electra, you dumb shit. And I go, I don't know who she is, I want to see her ID. Unfortunately, she was really, really nice, and her friend didn't have an ID, so I couldn't serve her, so yeah, well, that's great. But, so then, you know, then the only other thing is I have to say that 30 years ago, I'm working on a Tuesday night here at this bar, and I'm just closing up. It's 2 o'clock at night, and now we could call them servers. So this gal comes up and sits at the bar. It's 2 o'clock. Well, I'm going, what the hell's she doing here? I mean, it's 2 o'clock. I'm closing up. I kicked everybody out of here. You know, time to go home. And so she sits down there, and I figure, well, she's going to come make me, help me wash some glasses or something. It's 2 o'clock. You know, what else are you going to do? So anyway, I guess washing glasses isn't what she had in mind. So, and that was my wife, Nikki, who I've been. And I've been with Nikki for the last 30 years. I don't want to use it online, but I've always walked a path, too, since then. So anyway, so I just want to say another thing, and you know, I thank Jeff and Andrea again for doing this, and for a place, I'm going to miss this place so much. As your bartender, you see so many people. I can't go to Ralph's without running into somebody I know, because I'm at the same spot, so people are always coming back. So anyway, I will want to say one thing that, unfortunately, as most people know, this is the 6th time I've had to get up in front of anybody talking. And unfortunately, we've lost a lot of really good friends who all would be here right now if they weren't. And I know, and relative people really know who I'm talking about. And it's just so unfortunate that they're not gonna be here anymore. But I just, there are just a lot of old friends, that, that were really close to me, probably more than most people, because I knew longer than anybody else. And so, anyway, I figured that, we're just starting a new deal with this retirement thing. So I figure I got a lot of good friends right now, and I think I'll meet a lot of new friends right now. So anyway, I just thank everybody for coming here. And I'm so excited about this. This is great. So thank you all for coming here. And very kind. I don't know.
Don't step on the floor here. Okay, before I lose Mike, because I know he's ready to get away from the microphone. I don't know how many of you know this, but the day after he retired, Mike's bike was stolen.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how he gets around. He gets around on his bike. He likes to exercise, and which is amazing. You can still make it up that hill. I don't know how you do it. I don't think anybody else in this room could do it. Can you do it? No way. So anyways, we all got together, and we got a little something for Mike, and I wanted us to present it to you with so much love for all the years that we have worked together. And you better still come in here, because we're going to miss you if not. But Eileen's bringing it out.
It's not one
And
of
this
those.
is for you.
Oh, it's a beauty. Oh, no, this is it.
She's got a basket full of gifts too as well. Roll it out.
Sure, here's a new bike. So Mikey's been riding bikes for a while. Oh, it's a beauty.
It is. Oh, that's nice, honey.
Oh,
That's
God, I
nice.
hope they don't steal this one.
And you got a lock. Very good
Newfangled
lock.
locks, so if
Oh,
somebody
perfect.
tries to cut into it, it electrocutes them or
Oh, yeah.
sparks or something like that. Yeah, so that should be fun.
Oh, that's great. So use the
Oh,
that's great.
Well,
We love you, Mike.
oh, that's funny. That's
Here, we
wonderful.
gotta put this in the...
If anybody else wants to say something to Mike, please.
And Cliff was saying, do you know who that is,
I know
Mike?
he did.
Mike says, she didn't have an ID. So I've known Mike now for 35 years. I started meeting him when he was at Bears. I'm Pat Donahoe, by the way, if you don't know me. And I even was at the Balboa Inn the one day he worked there. And he looked around, he says, this is total chaos, I'm getting out of here. And then I think Itch and Kim took over, or Mitch took over with Mount.
I bartended with
Yeah, the monkey bar. But I sat down and I started thinking about how many cocktails he served me. So over 35 years, he served me 10,350. These are low numbers, by the way. And he served me 24,150 beers. And again, these are probably about 15% below what the real numbers are. Anyways, Mike, it was a sad day when I had that phone call that you were retiring. I thought to myself, oh my God, it's my last Kino compadre here. And I said, now I have to chase them all over Blackie's and everywhere else to find them. Anyways, thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Andrea.
Daughter and with the grandkids and everybody. I love you, Mike. You've been a dad to me. While he was at work, Candy and I were having parties at his house. Sorry, not sorry. No, we were actually usually walking down the peninsula looking for a party. But it was just such a pleasure. He was a second dad to me, and I'm so grateful to have been raised with you, and now coming in here and being part of this family too. And we're also proud of you for what you've done. And Candy wishes she was here, and they're sending their love.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, well,